We're joined by Terry for his return. How are you?
Mate, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. What you been up to? Not heard from you for a few days.
Well, you heard from me this morning.
Yeah, I'm on about. Mate, not heard a lot from you this week. You've been busy.
I've been grafting, mate. Been absolutely grafting.
You're grafting your arse off, pal.
Rate hard work, man. Hard yakka, mate. Hard yakka.
You've got an hard life, you, Terry.
Right, that's just been busy.
Yeah. Then Big Ron sends his best to you. I seen him yesterday up at Greensborough.
Yeah, I saw you, man. You guys look like you're, palling up again, reuniting the
Well,
band.
Big Ron came over, didn't he, doing his, where he throws combinations and all that.
Yeah, I heard it was a
He
ten
came
eight
over
round.
doing, eh?
I heard it was a 10-8 round.
No, he come over with his combination, so I had to put a couple in, didn't I? And then gripped him in a big bear hug. You know what I mean? I didn't want him sliding over in them blue shoes he had on.
Yeah.
But main thing is the blue shoes matched his Ian Brady blue glasses. But no, we had a bit of a chat. Like I went to that march with Scott Brunt and his partner Emma from Spartan Demolition. KCM put on it. It was a great day. I saw Cash Ali were there. Had a good chat with Cash. He's coming back.
Everyone's coming back. Telling you, you're going to be part of Hobson promotion soon. Don't worry about that.
No. I think them days are gone. I'm not that far from him actually, but he's in Matlock, isn't he? But now he's. I won't be surprised if Dennis had another year or two and then walked away from let the landscape change. I won't surprise you, but you never know, do you? He's been saying that for years, hasn't
I don't know why he just doesn't manage. Forget
he? Yeah,
promoting, just manage. There are loads of kids that would benefit from being around Dennis.
yeah. Well, it's a mystery, isn't it? He's got experience, hasn't he? But I don't think it's happening for him. I mean, that show he's just put on the record. He says it were well. I hadn't seen it, but Dennis says it were a decent show. But when your box rate rankings 810, the quality can't be there, can it? At that kind of ranking, and you've got Izzy putting a rank with his ranking with 518. I know with that old prize fighter format, but they reckon it were a barnstorming show because the Big Dawg up for winning, weren't they?
Yeah, it's good fights there. Some reputations were made, some reputations were shattered, mate.
Yeah. So, okie dokie. What do you think to Tyler Goodjohn's statement regarding he were at Matchroom, he fought Tyrone Nurse 2014 and he was smashed up. You told him to get to hospital straight away and he asked one of the Matchroom lot, I believe it was Anthony Lever, and he said, that's what allegedly I've heard, and he said taxi ranks over there and that was that. Do you think that's in bad taste, Terry?
Yeah. Um, you know, I think if you look at Matchroom now, I think they've learned from that kind of experience. Do you remember when I think it was Eric Ochieng that collapsed on one of the Matchroom shows, wasn't it? And that spurred them into action as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that stuff that happens. Like, you know, I would say it's bad for the reputation, but I've seen worse, mate. I have seen worse. And the problem you've normally got is kind of once they've paid you, Matchroom don't really care about you. Like, all right, there's your money, mate. Get out of here.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. But if that were Anthony Joshua, would he have been told to go to taxi rank by Eddie and get a taxi to Manchester, or would he have gone in the limo?
Well, the limo would have been his.
Yeah. Yeah, but
That's the
aren't they all
difference,
on the
right?
same show on that night and doesn't a promoter have a duty of care?
So I think so. But what was Tyler Goodyoung going to hospital for?
Well, the inspector doctor, whatever, told him you've got big golf balls on your forehead, mate, and you're cut all over. You need to go to hospital straight away. That's what he was told. That was his statement.
I'd love to know what happened because normally what happens behind the scenes, if you've got those kinds of injuries, they get treated backstage. Well, obviously behind the arena, they
Yeah.
get treated, and they get treated in a way where it's like you're not in any harm. And then you might have to go to your GP, or you might go to A&E and just get things topped up. That's what happens. Now, I think there should be something in boxing whereby if you're a license holder, you have access to private healthcare.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can go into a Bupa and just get yourself sorted. And if that means we will put a levy on shows, so be it. But you should be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting one, that, isn't it? It's an interesting one. I mean, ask Aaron if he's still got that statement. I can read it out to you if you can send me it again. But it's boxing, isn't it? It's the school of hard knocks, isn't it? Protect yourself at all times. If you're not a cash cow and you've lost on their show and you've then got no contract with them, they don't care, do they?
No, they don't.
It's one of them. Terry, you were very controversial. People have said in comment section about your opinion on Zach Parker. Aaron compared it to Dirrell Froch. What did you make of it? No, sorry. Now that you've had time to reflect, do you think you could have jumped the gun? Yes or no? Terry, I'm just asking the question. I'm not saying you have. But,
no, I don't think I have, because the number of times we've heard people in boxing get criticized for being runners. Mayweather, all he ever does is run. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these same people are probably the ones in your comment section saying I'm off the mark. I'm happy to reward Boatsi for trying to make it a fight. As a judge, I'm happy to do that. And if you go back to what I said, what are people actually scoring? Are you scoring the punches, or are you scoring the round? Do you see what I mean? There's a big difference, Russ.
Yeah.
If you're scoring the boxing, then you've got to be giving credit for the guy that's making the fight. You've got to be giving credit to the guy that's really trying to set about the other guy.
Yeah.
Now, if the other guy's just holding and dropping to his knees, judges aren't going to look on that favorably, nor should they.
Yeah, I suppose you could look at it like that, couldn't you?
But if you want to look at it wider than that, like I've said repeatedly, Zach Parker showed no love to Darrell Williams when he got robbed.
Yeah, you were very vocal about that, weren't you?
But I stand on that. That's my mate.
Yeah.
People can say, I'm biased. I'm biased as hell on this one because I saw a man's world fall apart.
Yeah. Okay. We spoke about Izzy's show earlier. Izzy's come from nowhere, really, with this. And do you think he's now the number 3 guy promoting in country?
Mate, do you remember when you used to just see him at Hobson shows?
Yeah. I know Izzy. Yeah. I don't know if there's any cinema chummy now, but they were.
Well, idols become rivals, don't they?
Yeah.
But
he's come from nowhere. He's got his own money, and that's obviously why he's hitting a 518 ranking. Bricktop's last show were 457, so that's what TV money does for you, isn't it?
Well, has he got TV money, or is it pay to play on DAZN?
Well, people are saying he's got TV money, but he hasn't got what the others have got. So we don't know until they come out, and I'm not really bothered about that, whether he has or he hasn't. But they're saying he has. Now, these shows he's putting on, they're not bad, are they?
They're all right, but they're not. How can I put it? They're mostly full of guys who would just be on small hall shows anyway. What Izzy's been good at is, instead of them being spread out across the country, like one in Bolton, one in here, they're all on the same card. That's what he's done that I think is really good, is he's broken down the geographic barriers.
Yeah. I've been critical in past. I've spoke about this with Big Ron. I've been critical in past of saying things like Big Ron's got something bubbling. He's going to be putting Fons Alexander 10, 177 and 2 on against Dale Harrismith 642 and 5. You see where I'm coming from? And yeah, that can be critical, and that used to get Dennis's nose. But when you've got Willie Warburton 2764 and 10 on standby, and these are main events, there's a problem, isn't there? That's just talking like trying to be a funny man. But you see where I'm coming from? These guys are losing every week, but they're booked out for 2 and 3 and 4 shows, aren't they? No matter what happens. Why is that, Terry? Why is that? Am I critical on that, or do we need these move around guys?
You need them.
Yeah.
Look, this weekend Jordan Granham decided to just turn it up. Yeah, and he went from journeyman to monster. When we talk about these guys with these records, You have to understand what they can do if they decide to turn it up.
Yeah, I understand that, but why don't they?
Because they're not incentivized to do so. Because as soon as they do, Russ, they have to go and sell tickets, and they don't want to do that.
Yeah. So the defensive guys that are just getting in there to give these other guys rounds and get fighting in front of the cameras, I just don't agree with it, mate.
Why?
Well, I want to. If they've got it in them to have a tear up, why not do it? Why just move around and let the other guy beat you on points for the 4 rounds or 6 rounds? That's my argument.
Okay, but you just shorten people's careers.
Oh yeah, careers to do what? To have move arounds and pinch money. You can have move arounds in a gym.
No. When are you supposed to learn how to box in front of the public if you don't box in front of the public?
Well, shouldn't it be even across board from day one? You learn it in front of gyms, don't you? And getting beat media around and having proper hard spars, don't you, in the gym? What's the difference between fighting?
So sparring is part of your training. Training and fighting are two very different things. That's why you can get people who are good in the gym and crap on fight night. So I think you've just got to go through those reps. It's the equivalent of being a 17-year-old, Russ, right? I've got to put you on in the last 20 minutes of a game. I can't put you on in the first 20 because the intensity is too much, and I've got to build you up. You know, some people are good out the box, obviously. I mean, we get freaks of nature. But the way you develop people in any sport is you bring them on, yeah? And you keep increasing the degree of difficulty, and then you go, right, now you've had all your learning fights. Now it's time to pay the fans back.
Well, yeah, I see where you're coming from.
But if your first fight's a tear up and your second fight's a tear up, you could get 5 fights in, Russ. You got fractured orbital, cuts over your eyes, etc. Now you're on borrowed time, and then we'll all go, oh, you know what? That guy had so much potential. If only he had looked after himself better. If only his manager had looked after him.
Yeah. Do you think managers at the moment in boxing, Terry, couldn't manage a brewery piss up? You think what? You think some of them have just basically blagged it?
So I'll tell you a story. I was talking to a young amateur, and he got approached by a manager who's got a box. He's got like 1 or 2 boxes, right? But he's not from the sport. And this guy was promising him stuff. I can get you signed on this platform, signed on that platform. And so I just messaged the promoter and said, are you looking for welterweights or light middles? He's like, who have you got? And I just said, yeah, I got a kid here. He might be something if we can just get him down the right path.
Yeah.
And I said, there you go. Like, what do you mean your manager's going to get you? Mate, it's not that hard to get access to promoters. And a lot of these guys are blaggers. And, you know, that's why I'm saying to you, we need guys like Dennis to stay in the sport, because Dennis doesn't need 10% of a $4,000 purse. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So Den will guide you. I mean, he'll give you some wisdom because he just wants to be around champions.
Yeah. Rematches, Terry. Are we seeing too many of them?
Too many. And they're not for the fans. They're so the promoters can keep making money. I don't like them. There should be no rematch clauses in any title fights.
Elmer Fudd fights in Monaco at the beginning of next month. Rhino's going to be a commentator on the night. Will there be a trilogy? Asks Jonathan.
No one wants to see that.
Well, they've got a contract signed, apparently, according to Super Bean.
Contract to do what? To fight each other?
Rhino and Elmer signed a rematch before the second one took place.
Dave will beat that guy up every time. There's nothing that Johnny Fisher can do.
It's 10 days out of 10. Rhino does him, doesn't he? 10 nights out of 10. Puts him on planet Mars if he fights him again. I think that could be end of Big Elmer.
I don't know. I think he puts him on Button Moon, and then from Button Moon, he can watch John Fury.
He can what speak to them that John Fury put on there.
All 100.
Then 100 on the hard road. Although he's changed it, hasn't he, to tarmac.
Mate, tarmac, asphalt, gravel.
Where is Big John anyway, Terry? Where is he?
Mate, spending whatever millions he's made.
Yeah, he's not daft, is he, behind the door? Is he? When I see Big John, I'm going to give him a big hug and a big kiss.
I don't know if you can get your arms around him.
I know he's that fat at the moment, fat as a pig. Michelin man, he was in good shape last year. When he running up street, 10 seconds on Instagram, another 8 kilometers in the bag, pop, pop, bang, in 8 minutes
Yeah.
flat. Rucksack on his back, weighted ankles.
Legend.
And Superman.
Legendary.
Legend, mate, absolute legend. Willie Hutchinson. He put it on Ezra Taylor. I'm Team Willie now. Team Willie Hutchinson, Terry.
Nah, not for me.
No, they like him.
Nah.
Are you going to go Ezra Taylor if they fight?
I just don't care about either one of them, to be fair.
No.
They've kind of just given me Ezra Taylor. I'm like, where's this guy come from? Nowhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
he's a guy walking about with giant bins on that he borrowed off.
Borrowed off you.
Hey?
Hey? Mate, look, the thing with Willie Hutchinson is he's just giving me Billy Joe Saunders vibes. That's what he's giving me at the moment. So I'm just like, that's not my thing in boxing, if I'm being honest with you.
No.
No. And also, like, him fighting Ezra Taylor doesn't make any sense to me. Willie Hutchinson's been a pro for nearly, 9 years now?
Yeah. Okay. Well, they're saying quit Ben Whittaker against Ezra Taylor, according to the GAD.
It could be Ben Whittaker versus Ezra Taylor.
Yeah, that's what the GAD's saying when they were talking about stories about his waistcoat and Derek Chisora and Malik Scott, his lifelong friend in boxing. Oh, but I need that 32 minutes of my life back. IFL, please give me it back.
Yeah, it's a waste of time. Ben Whittaker fighting Ezra Taylor is a waste of time. Ben's kind of behind schedule, so he's got to move a little bit quicker. And I don't think Ezra's the kind of guy. But him fighting Willie Hutchinson does make a lot of sense.
Ben and Willie Hutchinson's a good fight, isn't it?
Yeah, decent technical fight, but I think Ben's too big, too strong.
The loser will fight Liam Cameron.
Hey, listen, Killer's still in the game. Still got another big payday to come.
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Manny versus Floyd happened 6-7 years too late the first time. Now it's going to be a second one, they reckon, next summer after 11 years since the second one.
It didn't happen too late. You know what? This is why boxing people are just idiots generally. Those two men are the same age. It's not like, one was loads younger than the other. Floyd was an older man in there. So if it happened too late, then it disadvantages Floyd. But people make this argument because they're like, when Manny fought Miguel Cotto, that's the Manny that would have beaten Floyd. There's no version of Manny Pacquiao that beats any version of Floyd Mayweather. Get it out your heads, people. Yeah. There's not one version of that. Not one.
Yeah.
I love Manny, by the way. Like, if you said best fighters this century, I'd go Floyd 1, Manny 2, right? And there's clear water between them and the rest. But the gap between Floyd and Manny is not small.
Yeah. Okay. Pat Brown. I keep calling him Pat Barrett. I did earlier. Pat Brown, where does he go next? Is it too early for CBS? Chris Billumsmith.
I think you move Pat quickly. You give him like a Chev Clark. Then you got to whack him in with like a Vidal Riley. And then you're putting him in with them Chris Billumsmith, Jack Massey type guys. And then once he's done that, up a tire. Once he's done that, heavyweight, crack on. So he's got to move quick, though. I don't know if there's the money behind him to move that quickly.
Well, they're going on about his opponent, but I checked him out, and he fought Bivol 9.5 years ago and Sullivan Barrera 8 years ago. Didn't do out in them fights, so he was basically donkey fodder. The guy he knocked out, wasn't
he? Yeah, they've dragged him up from light heavyweight to cruiser. But this is the way you do it, right?
Yeah. Well, that's how you figure out a route for him and what he can go up against. Even though the guys, but he could have old manned him, couldn't he? But Pat, what messing about? What's he let the mans go? Worry.
Nah. It'll be interesting to see what happens when there's incoming traffic for him.
Well, they're talking a big fight for him now. He's only had 11 rounds. Could he be rushed quicker than Atoma, do you think?
Well, in cruiserweight terms, yeah, because there's not a lot of cruiserweights. Like, he's coming at the right time where there's like a vacuum at cruiserweight.
Tommy Fury's ranked number 6 at cruiserweight on BoxRec, 11-0.
How many by way of?
4.
Yeah.
And he's a cruiserweight, and it's Manchester, the Battle of Manchester. What do you think? Having it on the cobbles. Tommy Fury and Pat Brown, 2 worlds collide.
2 worlds, 1 city.
Well, you never know, do you? But could you see that happening?
No.
Could you see Vidal Riley fighting any of them?
Yeah, I think he's good enough to.
Yeah. Would you put Vidal Riley in mix with Pat Barrett? With Pat Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is Pat Brown in R2 Beterbie's league for power?
What is he? 6'6"? He's a big lump, right? But
6'6".
Pat Brown.
He's a 6'6". I didn't know that.
Well, he's huge.
All right.
So yeah, I reckon he could. He could hit as hard as Beterbiev just because of his size. But we've seen Beterbiev do it to people who are good. We haven't seen Pat Brown do it to people who are good. We've seen Pat Barrett do it to people who are good.
Yeah, Pat Barrett's done it at an high level, hasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Let me just check if Pat Brown's 6'6", Terry. I don't think he is, you know. He'd be biggest cruiserweight in the world if he were 6'3".
Is he?
6'3". So yeah, he's a big lump then, isn't he, for a cruiser?
Yeah, the same. He's a big guy.
Well, we're going to see. Does Derek get his 50th fight on December 13th now that it's not Dillian White, the Can Man?
So who is it then?
They don't know. They're going to make an announcement this week.
That's what Jerome Miller.
This morning.
It's Jerome Miller.
Miller against what? Chisora, eh?
I'd watch that.
Could you imagine press conferences with tables and spitting and roll arounds and donkey derby comments?
I don't think those two need to. I think those two, that would just be verbal because there's no real needle between them.
No, there ain't, is there?
Okay. I think there's respect between them for just being knobheads. Like they kind of look at each other and just go, "Yeah, I know what you're doing."
Yeah, I agree. The media, TalkSport, nicking your one-liners, mine, and a couple of other channels. Can't they get their own material, Terry?
Well, what do they nick?
Well, they nicked that one what you were going on about. Spencer Oliver, how we went in on Ben, and now he's saying Ben's favourite and all that. And you were saying they'd change their minds. And Simon Jordan, I don't know if it was a little dig at Spencer Oliver, but it was more or less making out that he's a cheerleader. But do they do that just to pacify us?
Sometimes I just think they're acting. Like Spencer Oliver knows boxing well enough to know what's what, right? But he also knows that he's got bills to pay, so he's got to stay on the radio by saying outlandish things. Like, you only stay on the radio when people want to hear you. Yeah.
Well, he did say to Anthony Joshua at the presser after the fought Usyk, "You're beating the best boxer in the world for 10 rounds." I don't make Ben a favourite in this fight. He lost the first fight convincingly, and they keep making a big issue about this weight thing. I don't know if they're struggling for scripts on this one, or is it because they've already been paid? Oh, sorry, they already know the guarantee. Is it 10 million guaranteed, but 12 on the upside, they're saying? But they don't seem to be bothered about pushing for the upside. I don't see any big promotion on this. And pardon?
No point. They know that people don't really want to watch this. I don't really want to watch this. I'm away, so I don't have to watch it anyway. I don't care. Yeah. After the first fight, remember, we talked about this. And I said, after the first fight, there was nothing left.
Yeah.
They used everything. If they'd known that it was going to go 2 fights, I would have held off having the old man there. I would have had Chris not show up for the first fight, but show up for the second one. Yeah. So that tells me that they only wanted to do one. And then they realized, oh my God, this is the moment, we've got to capitalize. And that's why they wanted to do the second one quickly. But now we're kind of like, who cares? We're just like, where's Femi?
Yeah, that's what they're all asking for now. Where's Joshua? Because I mean, this is another big pay-per-view fight. We know belt on line again, isn't it? And I mean, people are now saying Elmer Fudd against the Rhino could be DAZN pay-per-view. It's that big. Do you think people are
Yeah.
brainwashed? We'd have a guy like Rhino ranked 100 and Elmer ranked 101. So that makes them accurate rankings because the world apart in ability, aren't they, really, and experience. But could you see them blowing that up into some big pay-per-view on DAZN? Yes or no?
No,
No, you couldn't see him doing that, no.
that's trash. The fight's trash.
Well, that's what they're saying. Rhino's going to be commentating in Monaco next
Or
month.
just jump in the ring afterwards. What if Johnny Fisher loses?
What if Fisher? Oh, I don't know. Would yeah? Well, hey, he could do, couldn't he? Fisher, he could lose.
Yeah.
Couldn't he? Big Elmer.
Yeah, you just have Dave consoling him. Dave would just have him in his lap, consoling him.
Yeah. Kell Brook is coming back after 4 years out, fighting in Dubai, apparently. People are saying Kell Brook in a round robin with Crusher Ben, Eubank Jr., Beefy Smith. I've heard Billy Joe's name thrown into the mix. Mark Tibbs has done an interview saying Billy Joe won't come back. He's just a normal man now. He's lost his youth. What do you think?
Well, who's saying that this should be a round robin? Like, we don't care that much. I wonder what weight can Kell actually make?
I don't know. I'd have thought he could make 160, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but can he make he can't make 147 anymore? No way.
No. So Eubank can't either. So it'd be 160 if Eubank and Beefy are in the mix, wouldn't it? Ben won't be bothered because he's a gun for hire, isn't he?
Because the reason I say that, mate, I would be chasing Lewis Crocker's belt. Like, that seems to be the easiest title to win right now is Lewis Crocker's belt.
Yeah. For Crusher, yeah.
Anyone. If I'm a welterweight, I'm like, can you give me Lewis Crocker?
Yeah. I see where you're coming from on that, mate. It's a tough one, that. What do you make of this fight? Who have you got? Have you got Eubank again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Will his dad make an appearance?
I don't know, mate. I've been so disengaged. I saw Junior when he was training up at Churchill's briefly, just a little hello, hi, bye. But I'm not that interested in this fight.
Not many other people seem to be talking about it. If you look on the analytics, they're doing a third as much over social media as what they did when they fought 6 months ago.
So mate,
as regards PR.
Okay, so go back to the first fight. It was
we were saturated by it, weren't we?
But there were themes. There was the drug cheat thing. There was the sons doing battle, and then there was Will Senior show up. 3 pretty big kind of plot lines, right?
Mm.
They've all been put to bed. So what's the new plot line?
Ambulance job. That's it. The ambulance job. We haven't even heard a note from Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, they were the one controlling the gates, not the 7-0 Iceman from Billy Rickett in the blue corner. So, if Eubank loses, will he go back to Adam?
I doubt it. I really.
Will there be a trilogy, Terry?
God, I hope not.
Do you?
Yeah, I hope not.
Would that be scraping barrel?
Yeah, like we would be sweating every last drop out of these assets right now.
Well, we had Chisora Fury free.
Then remember how you felt about that?
Oh my God. Is Eubank a 160 guy?
He's somewhere in the middle, isn't he? Between 160 and 168.
Well, this is his 9th fight on the trot at middleweight, and he's gone 7-1, and this will be his next one, his 9th. So he's only lost once at 160 in this 160 run. So it's his choice to fight there, and it was his choice to sign that contract regarding stipulations. Do you agree?
Have they agreed the weight yet? I thought that was still outstanding.
Well, it's all a bit up in air, isn't it? They're telling us one thing and doing another, aren't they, at the moment?
But it's probably just to get people interested, but no one cares.
I know. You want to go on to part 2, pal?
No worries.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Porky's Corner was brought to you by Spartan Demolitions. Pop, pop, bang.